Italian Football Podcast.
Let's talk about Osimhen and his, record-breaking soon run of scoring. 8 games in a row now that he's scored in Serie A, which is 3 behind the all-time Serie A record by Gabriel Batistuta, who scored 11 straight in the 1994-95 season. We could say that he scored in 13, he did score in 13 straight Serie A games, if we include the 2 that he scored at the end of the 92-93 season before Fiorentina got relegated. And then when they came up, he then scored straight away in 11 straight games in 94-95. But in one season, the record is 11. And that was then matched by Fabio Quagliarella in 2018-2019, although I know there has been a bit of discrepancy, and certainly Batistuta's argued against that, hasn't he? About Quagliarella, have he scored 11? And then Ronaldo scored 11 straight as well the season after that for Juventus. So Osimhen is, he's on track to equal and break that record, which is just unbelievable. But what makes it even more remarkable is that Osimhen's done this without scoring a penalty, without scoring a single penalty. And the only players in Serie A history who have scored more in a row without scoring penalties are Trezeguet, who scored 9 for Juventus in 2005-06 season, and Pascuti for Bologna in 62-63, which I think they won the Scudetto that season, if I'm not mistaken. So, he's on. That's another record that he's on, and he now has 19 in Serie A this season. Again, none of them penalties. Could he even? I think you raised the subject. Could he even reach Higuain's record of 36 in a season? I would say it's unlikely, but I wouldn't rule it out. I mean, what do you think? Is he going to break the record? Do you think?
Well, one record he's going to break is Samuel Eto'o's record for an African player, for the most amount of goals an African player scored in one season in the Serie A, which is held by Samuel Eto'o at 21 from 2010-2011. He's 1 goal away from equaling compatriot Simi's goal tally for Crotone at 20. So he'll pretty soon be the second most prolific African.
So he's going to smash that. He's going to smash that Eto'o record.
He's going to smash those records. But both of those players took penalties. He did not. He does not. He's not taken a single one this season, if I'm not mistaken, in the Serie A. Right?
I think he scored 1 penalty in all competitions.
Wasn't it in the Champions League?
I think it might have been. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I think he missed that one as well, or did he score?
He missed one against Liverpool. He missed one against Liverpool. I think he might have taken another one later on in the group stage, if I'm not mistaken. I'll just double check that. But anyway, in Serie A, I mean, no penalties in Serie A.
Yeah, he's not scored a single one in the penalties, and I'm looking now. No, I can't find him on the list as I'm looking now for in terms of penalty takers. Victor Osimhen. So that is remarkable. I think 36 might be a little bit too steep, but
especially if Napoli go deeper in the Champions League, they will surely rest players if they're already won the Scudetto, won't they?
Yeah, and he's going to be Capocannoniere anyway, so it's unnecessary to risk. But next up are quite tough games. If he's going to beat it, look, next game this weekend, Napoli-Lazio, then Napoli-Atalanta, then it's Eintracht Frankfurt, then it's Torino, and then after the international break, it's Milan. So it's going to be difficult. I think we might struggle to do that. But again, I wouldn't put it past him. I really wouldn't, because he is that good.
And he's probably going to demand to play as well, because he wants to break the record, isn't he?
Probably. I mean, why shouldn't he? The Eintracht game is all over anyway. So, you could actually play Cholito in that game. But the Lazio and Atalanta games, it's home games, it's the Serie A, they need to wrap that up. So I'm no doubt in my mind he'll start both of those games. And yes, he could score. It's not impossible. It's not, it's not unthinkable. And then he's up on 10. And he could equal it away against Torino, which we know are a difficult side. And then he could beat it at Napoli against Milan at the Maradona. So, it's going to be quite the test for him to do that, but it's not impossible. No.
Yeah, it's an incredible achievement. I mean, it's probably not as great as an achievement as what Batistuta did, because Batistuta did it in the prime of Serie A.
Against those defenders.
Against those defenders, and I haven't looked up to see who the teams he scored against on that run, but we're talking about the best league in the world, the greatest league there's ever been ever, in any era, and he did it then for a Fiorentina team who had just got re-promoted. I mean, still had lots of quality. Rui Costa, Toldo. It was still lots of quality, but they were playing against world-class teams, world-class defenders every single week, and it wasn't a team that wasn't anywhere close to being the best in the league. So, for Batistuta to do that, that is amazing. Obviously, Osimhen's playing for the best team in the league by a long way this season, so it does make it easier. But the fact that he hasn't scored any penalties, but again, it just comes back to what we said about Osimhen, just how complete he is. And Batistuta, actually, it's funny because Batistuta's actually similar. Like, Batistuta was a player, had no weak. He was the complete striker as well, wasn't he, Batistuta? Again, what weaknesses did Batistuta have? He could do everything. He could play everything. He was physically absolutely a monster. He could hold the ball up. He was great making runs in behind. He was a great finisher, had an incredible shot, both feet, head brilliant in the air. He could do everything. And Osimhen is exactly the same. I mean, in this game against Empoli, he scored the kind of a Pippo Inzaghi poacher's goal, being so quick and so reading the game and making the movement to get to the ball first. The best goal poachers would score. So again, he can score every single type of goal. Again, the only criticism I can make is actually in the last 2 games he started to miss a few big chances, which I thought during this run, earlier on in this run, he was starting to become more clinical. And in the last 2 games, he missed 2 huge chances against Frankfurt, and then again in this game, he also missed a one-on-one in this match. So, if we're going to be critical of him, let's say, don't go back to missing these kind of chances. But sometimes he can still snatch at his chances. Sometimes, but
yeah, he needs still a little bit of composure and calm in those chances, in decisive goal scoring chances, moments, and I think he can even improve how prolific he becomes.
Yeah, he plays with such ferocity that sometimes he just wants to shoot as fast as he can without being a little bit calm.